This is Smith-Gilbert Gardens. I basically wanted to create a privately owned garden, kind of like a botanical garden, and then it expanded over the years. So once it decided to do that, it went for the full theme park experience, hotel, resort, with iconic lands. So what I want to do here is go ahead and zoom in and give us, something to click on. Let's see. Let's chase this guy. Go ahead and do this. Tegid cam. Yeah. Okay. So here's what we've got. The front entrance. So you just come right through your security gate. We've got an interior lobby. Good. We've got daytime. Nice skylight to kind of look at. We've got a Starbucks, which I think is kind of cool. And then we've got people cruising around. Let's just take a peek right here. So, Starbucks, very cool. Let's go into our movie theater. So right here we've got concession stands, and then over here is the actual, theater. Kind of a work in progress still, but we'll get there. And then the big atrium, which is really cool, and it's under a big gazebo. And then we've got the gardens. Let's see. Looking good. You get a nice view from across the, let's go right here on the bridge. What I would like to do is change the time of day to something like 10 p.m. Oh yeah, got some action there. And yeah, we'll just exit out and continue. Looks pretty good, I'd say. Nice little... Oh yeah, and then up here on the main floor, or not the main floor, the upstairs floor, this is going to be a bookstore, or not a bookstore, this is just a, what do you want to call it? A, gifts and toys souvenir shop. So yeah, you can just go up the stairs right here to the souvenir shop, or you can go down the stairs on this back side, pop your head into the bookstore, and you've got yourself. But yeah, so I wanted to go with a design that fit this garden setting. So you'll see here that the dome is kind of a in the shape of a some sort of daisy, and then we went for kind of a pattern design with the earth right here. So then the three worlds are basically plant life biomes. So we're going with a desert, western, and kind of rustic, mountain-like vibe. Whereas over here in the snow portion, this biome's going to kind of be like the alpine tundra Christmas area. And then in this third one, we'll have a Arabian desert, Middle Eastern, maybe just go with a full jungle vibe. I'm debating if this will start in another desert biome and then kind of move into a jungle biome that kind of brings you around to the tundra. Same goes for starting in this western area and then moving towards the Arctic. We might even bridge the gap and go with another type of, like a deciduous forest or something kind of in the Great Plains, give it a little bit of a prairie vibe. So that could be expansion on the park, which is where the lakes are. You'll notice that I went with small bridges because I felt that I don't want a boat transit authority like what you might see at Epcot. Instead, I wanted this to feel like it was a very easily walkable park. Now, that isn't to say on the backside of the park, I might even run a train that starts with a western depot and then moves around the barrier of the lake into a like Santa Village depot, like a train station that's kind of Christmas themed, and then move out of there, and then it'll be like a train that arrives here in the desert. It could almost be like a Murder on the Orient Express vibe, where it's jungle-like, but kind of early 20th century train station look. You'll notice this is something I found in the workshop. I will try to link in the description who the creator was. I really picked this. It was called the Arrowhead Hotel or Arrowhead Lodge. What I liked so much about it was this modern aesthetic on the corner. Yeah, Arrowhead Hotel. And I felt that fit with kind of the new age part of this park. As they grew, they had a more updated contemporary look to it, but that also needed to blend well with a rustic kind of western old town cabin in the woods feel. So we're working on a hybrid mixture. Essentially, what I'll have the Plainco peeps do is they'll come around the entrance here to the right, and we can get down on this level. Oops. We've got lockers, and if you just go right inside there actually are some lockers in there. But if you come on down to the side, you've got ATM and phone call, and then it does not connect into the internal part of the park. So right here where the restrooms are, they can come through to the restrooms, and then it'll attach to the resort section here. But as far as connectivity goes, this pathwork will be not connected to the park. So in other words, the resort guests can look out on the park at any time of day, but they cannot enter from the resort itself. They need to still go through the main ticket booth. If I were to change that, there will be a exit from the hotel on this side where it will permanently connect to the park here. And I might even include a ticket booth here to kind of show that you're coming in through the hotel and you've done your, you've purchased tickets and passes and everything, and maybe you're just taking a day off from visiting the park. So, and that'll actually be matching on the other side as well. Go ahead and switch to this. And switch to this. So we'll go back to park. So the park looks like it's got a good foundation. What I want to know and where I want to start is most likely building a huge coaster here. I don't know. I think at the front of the park, I would like to do a big B&M style coaster. If you could imagine one that is like the Incredible Hulk at Universal Orlando, where we've got some play off of the inversions over the water. So maybe part of the coaster will actually sit in the water barrier here to give it depth. But then the lift hill probably needs to go further back into the park, because this, I almost want it to be like an enchanted forest as soon as you walk into it, to show that the gardens in this biome are probably more of a forest or foliage type and less, commercialized planters. So we'll work through some of these ideas. I guess if you're watching this and you have a vision or an idea, then drop a comment. Let me know what you think would work well here and where to get started next. I basically just wanted to lay down the groundwork for the front entrance of the park, where we've got a shopping center, a movie theater. One thing I didn't show you was that the upstairs offices on this complex are where the staff buildings are, so it's expandable. And my hope is that this will become a good blueprint, a good scenario for someone who wants to build their own park. So what I might do is save a copy currently and use this as a foundation for somebody who wants to build a similar park, or maybe it's a chain of parks, like instead of just Smith-Gilbert Gardens, we could change it up and call it the garden that you would want to call it. So opportunity there. Here at the entrance, I've pretty much just built a dedicated Fastpass ticket booth area for making those purchases as you arrive. And as people are walking through this area, they're seeing advertisements for the different bars and restaurants and attractions. We have a security booth that takes you into the distribution center, or at least the back warehouse. So this will be the utility area. I'll have this boxed off next to a resort, so it'll be a simultaneous. They're dropping off goods at a hotel that is just next to the waterfront here, and then meanwhile you'll have the delivery zones for the staff buildings, for the movie theater and concessions. And if you just go in where this opening is going to be, you'll see there's this utility wall. So you'll go through here, you'll have a long corridor where staff can walk through, and then they come out at the movie theater. So there will be maintenance doors that say do not enter. You'll come through here, you'll have all the way onto the back side of this, and then when you exit, you're actually inside the bookstore wing. So this is a great way. I'll probably just continue this hallway through, and then when you get right here, this can be where the loading, really there won't be as much necessary, and I'll create a separate loading zone for this hotel. So probably right by this parking lot there will be an additional loading zone for the produce and the other items, furniture, things that are larger that need to be brought in during the day. It won't be seen from guest view. So we've got a lot of potential here. I guess I want to hear thoughts and comments. I want to hear if there's anything that I should consider before I go ahead and move on to building our winter ride. Maybe even name ideas. If I throw in a big B&M coaster, usually we want something like, Icebreaker, or maybe something creative. I'd like to go with a white color scheme on the ride itself, and then I'm gonna do probably a lot of accent lighting in that kind of like blue, purple, turquoise, kind of that wintry color scheme to give it a lot of pop. So we'll kind of work on future ideas and theming as we go. What about, let's jump in on Peep View real quick. Just curious. Let's go up here. Let's play. So I'll take you up to the where is it? The staff buildings. Oops. So yeah, from right here, you can probably see we've got a nice view into the main lobby. And then up here, these are the staff buildings. You'll see the elevators are even in the building. We want to make sure everything is ADA compliant. Got a staff building right there. There's a lot of room for expansion. So as a scenario, I would want people to be able to scale up and scale down the park as they need to. But yeah, you'll basically walk through here to the gift shop, like I mentioned, the bookstore, or you would stay forward, and this will be the movie theater and the concession stand. So either I'll create a separate entrance. I'm only going to go with one theater because this is not going to be a full chain of like IMAX theaters or multiples. Really what I wanted was just this vibe that you went to a museum about the botanical gardens, and then you would have watched a climate change video or something educational about it, but over the years it's become much more touristy. So even the hotels and resorts that are going to be in the park boundaries, you'll go a couple 100 feet off the property line and you're going to see another external Starbucks and another external like Holiday Inn or Best Western. So we're going to add a little realism to the outside parking lot, but we don't want to go crazy because we want this to be really conscientious about realism, and we don't want to just build mega just for the sake of it. If you've checked out some of my Six Flags Over Georgia recreations, when we talk about mega parks, I mean that was the biggest park I've ever done with the biggest boundary I've ever, played off of, and what I tried to do here was give us a lot of expansion and a lot of potential for growth without, I mean, this is just the set border. I think this is plenty. I don't think we'll need to go too much bigger here, but I'm really liking the style. Let me know what you think. Do you like the idea? Do we like the botanical garden theme? I mean, we're going to have big gardens across each of these patches as we expand. They're just going to get larger in the back halves, and we'll work on building, one thing that we're going to do is not build giant mountains, but build what looks like or is, forced perspective of mountains. And then that way we can achieve this man-made look for the right budget without, keep people suspending their disbelief, right? Peeps that come here know that it's not going to be the right climate, so we want to give it that look and that feel, and it's really kind of what grew out of being educational to becoming more of a tourist hotspot. A nice blend of everything. So yes, this is Smith-Gilbert Gardens, and give you one more look at the nighttime look to it. Let's go with a 6:30 p.m. I really love this kind of weenie center point. The lights are a little busy, I know, but the whole point is for it to kind of be the pull-in zone where everybody draws closer to it. You know, they're probably going to catch a movie here or there, so it's going to give it a little depth. But anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for checking out the progress on, Smith-Gilbert Gardens. This will be considered episode 1, and we'll check back after some progress has been made, and episode 2 we'll talk about new details. All right, see you guys later.